Hello, students, and this is your video lesson for the Break Up DBQ. So, what are we going to be doing today? Well, we're going to be using primary and secondary sources of information and include an examination of the credibility of each source. We're going to develop theses or a thesis and use evidence to support or refute the position. And then we're also going to analyze cause, effect, sequence, and correlation in historical events, including multiple causations and long and short term causal relations. So, what is a DBQ? DBQ stands for document based question. It's a type of essay question that requires several paragraphs in response. It requires you to use historical documents to analyze a trend or an issue from the past. Typically, it has 5 to 7 documents for you to analyze, and documents can be primary or secondary sources. These can include maps, newspapers, letters, other charts of data. The purpose of a DBQ is to assess the context behind the document, including the author's perspective and the target audience. Who did the author create this document for, this source for? It's really important because you find connections between these various documents, that these are not just 7 random documents that have been strewn together, that there's a commonality there, or one may add information to the other. The purpose is to write a solid thesis statement and use your analysis of the documents to support it. We did this last year in the Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich activity. This is a little bit more of an advanced Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich? And you apply your knowledge of the historical issue to develop a stronger case. So, document based questions are not just about reading the documents and spitting it back. You do have to understand a little bit about history and what's going on at the time in order to use those documents well. So there are many moving parts to a full-on DBQ. So this is going to focus on analyzing the given documents in support of a thesis. This is a non-historical fictional DBQ. So you get to experience the process without the intimidation. So we're going to be at this point talking about the must do, which is analyzing the sources. You should have 2 documents from Schoology: the Break Up DBQ document analysis sheet, and then also the Break Up DBQ pack of documents. So the first thing you're going to do is in this set of documents, read the prompt. The setting is the background. Asher and Melissa broke up last week after having dated for just over a year. Both appear heartbroken and both are claiming that the breakup was not their fault. So, the prompt, or what you have to figure out, is analyze the causes of their breakup to form a conclusion about which of them, if either, was more at fault in causing the relationship to fail. So, step 2 here is, now that we know the prompt, we're going to analyze whose fault is the breakup. You're going to read each document carefully and closely and highlight important details and information. It's important to look carefully at each document because no detail is insignificant. You want to make sure that you're highlighting or circling things that you notice may affect your interpretation of the document. Step 3 is called sourcing, which is analyzing your source. You have to explain how or why the document's point of view, purpose, historical situation, or audience, and how it's relative to an argument about the prompt. You're not just identifying information that's presented in there and taking it for face value. You have to really think about the historical situation, what's going on at the time period that affects the author of the source, and why does that matter? This can be the relationship to the people who broke up. It can be someone's religion or gender or position of power. So you have to think about, why does it matter who wrote this and how this affected them at that time? Audience, which is part of the purpose. Who is this written for? How does it affect your interpretation of the document? So, was it a note sent to someone, or was it a speech? Was it something that was broadcast over the school announcements? So, how does that affect the way you think about the document? Point of view. How could the author of the source, how can their position, class, race, gender, religion, occupation, influence their views? Is this document reliable based on the information from the source or the author? So, is the person who created this reliable because of their bias or their point of view? Purpose. Why is the author writing it? What is their intent or goal? Is this document reliable? So for each document, you're going to try and analyze it according to at least 2 of these. Try for 4, but at least 2. So once you are finished with that, you can attempt the Aspire to Do. This can get you to an A for this assignment. So in this, you are going to analyze the causes of the breakup and form a conclusion, and you're going to do it by an outline DBQ, which is this document here. So the step 1, you're going to come up with a topic sentence. You're going to write a topic sentence for your first piece of evidence. What is the evidence providing that answers that prompt? So whose fault is it? You may say Asher is at fault because blah, blah, blah. That's your topic sentence. You're just introducing the idea. The second part is you're providing evidence. Well, document 2 shows that Asher did this, and that puts him at fault for the breakup. Explain how you would use this document to support your thesis. Then you've got to use one sourcing, either historical context, audience, point of view, or purpose. So who's the person responsible for the source? What are they embellishing? What do they want? So you're going to do a critical analysis, like how reliable is this source? And then you're going to repeat steps 1 through 3 and come up with 3 topic sentences. And you're going to analyze a 4th document that supports one of your 3 topic sentences. So you need 3 topic sentences, 3 different documents to support, and then analyze a 4th document that supports your position. The last thing you're going to do, it's not step 8, sorry, it's step 4, is write your thesis statement that analyze the causes of their breakup to form a conclusion about which of them, if either, was more at fault in causing the relationship to fail. So an example of a thesis statement might be Asher was not at fault for the breakup with Melissa because, and dot, dot, dot. Add the main points from each topic sentence. Or you can say both Asher and Melissa were at fault because, and dot, 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 the 3 main points from each topic sentence. Once you finish this and submit this, you're going to do the mastery check, which is a Google form. See me for that. Thank you for listening.